Okay. Well, let me take you back 6 days ago. I kind of had no idea what I was about to be in for. Welcome back to the show, everybody. First decent winter storm of the year. We've got about 8 inches so far. Snowed all night last night, and it snowed all day so far today. And, well, we just lost power about 5 minutes ago. So, well, there's plenty of work to do outside, shoveling, plowing, and all that. Started out as rain last night, and it was raining so hard you could actually hear it on the roof of the house. And you can tell after it turned to snow, it's really heavy. These branches from this big oak should be 15 feet in the air, and they're actually touching the ground. So you don't want to get too close under trees. I've already heard a few branches crack in both directions today. Pretty common when they get weighted down with this much snow. So, all right. I'm just going to get busy. Can't do anything in the shop. I was standing at the lathe, and all of a sudden lights went out, and that quit. So we still have, well, there's supposed to be a break in this midday today, and then this evening is supposed to start up again and snow all night long still. So we could be 12 inches plus by the time it's all said and done. It's all going to be super heavy stuff. It's the kind of stuff you only want to have to move it once, because, like, you know, once you shovel it or plow it, when you like leave that pile, you don't want to have to move it again because it's already compacted and really tight. So enough talking, let's just get busy. All right, I just saw a branch come down over there. I don't know if you heard it or not. Finished shoveling, you know, walk to the house out in front of the garage, and the time I've been shoveling, those branches off the end of my finger there came down. That one off the end of my finger there came down, a couple others, and this branch gave a nasty pop, and you can see I shoveled up to it. It's down. We've got a big split. You can see it right there off the end of my finger. But it's time to hop in Big Red. I put the plow on it last night before all this started, and we're going to take it easy because this is transmission burning snow. There's not a lot of it, but it's just heavy enough that, well, back when I worked in the auto industry, like clockwork, we'd get this first heavy snowfall of the year. Guys would get out with their beater snowplow trucks, just start ramrodding, and I mean, they'd burn transmissions left and right. The first snowfall like this was always good for 4 or 5 jobs like that. So key to doing it with the pickup, just don't bite off more than you can chew. Take it easy, and if you spin out and get stuck, don't keep rocking it back and forth till you melt it down. Just get a pull. I think I hear Senior. Yep, there he is on the orange monster. He got the Kubota running, so he's going to start chipping away at it as well. I'll put the gloves up on the dryer right there. I reset the trip meter, so we're at 0 right now. Let's see how many miles we put on today. Look at all the water on the ground under this snow. What a mess. All right, we're gonna try blasting down the driveway. Hit that branch. Yep. Let's see if there's anything down across the road down here. One small one ahead of us. We're just gonna bulldoze those right out of the way. Right on the way back up the driveway. Oh, roadblock. All right, just since I made the first pass down and opened up the end, We've got a branch down in our way. Waited just till I got out. Then it decided to block the road. Fairly good size, so it'll give you a headache if it came down on you. Just gonna get it off the road far enough for now that I can make it back through. Well, I heard a pretty good bang on that last trip through. We're getting the driveway opened up pretty well. We had this one. I could see the top over there, but I didn't realize the end of it was as big as it is. So we got to move this one out of here now. This one's a bit more substantial than the other one though. Camera away, I need both hands for this. Just keep punching the holes. All right, we slacked off a little bit early because I couldn't even tell how far in the woods I was. Good job, Big Red. All right, I've got the whole driveway done, all the way out, winged to full width to the road. And Senior's, he's scraping cleanup with the bucket on the tractor because, well, he can stack this really wet stuff real easy, but the plow on the truck just doesn't. Normally I can push and raise the plow and stack loose snow up really well. With this heavy stuff, that's what you get. That's about as high as I can get it with the truck, and you have the perfect imprint of the mold board on there. And as soon as it gets cold and this stuff sets up, you'd never ever move it again. So what I've been doing is just bunching it so he doesn't have to make so many passes scraping, and I've just been kind of staging it off of where we want to have the piles. So he's coming up behind me and just taking care of the piles that I left, stacking them up for good. Okay, we've got everything in front of the house, most of the stuff down to the other shop. Haven't even started on our way out to the field yet. Senior has worked his way down to the pole barn. You gotta watch it under these trees, man. It's just, as we walk under them, of course. Don't worry, you guys are all right. There's a layer of ice and snow on everything. About 20 minutes ago, this one came down, landed on the 350, and I just now watched this branch come out of this birch tree right here and drill the side of the garage. I don't think it hurt anything, but yeah, you can see where it hit right there and went all the way down. Gosh, man, I don't know. We're gonna have a heck of a mess to clean up come spring. So we've got about an hour and a half of daylight left. You can see we've got a lot of cleanup to do here yet, but I'm gonna switch gears, park the truck for now. You can see I've broomed the snow off the front of the old shop here, and I'm going to hit this backside as well. This morning, first thing I did was take the first batch off the lean-to because that's so flat it doesn't slide off on its own. And well, we have to go into tonight with all of this stuff cleaned off because we have another round of this coming in as soon as it gets dark. And I'm gonna climb up there with the snow broom, and we're gonna pull everything down from the upper tier that we can get and then clean the entire thing off. You can see it's been sliding a little bit there, and we're about 2 feet piled up where it starts transitioning to flats. So we got to get that weight off it. All right, we're clear up there, and it's going to be dark probably in 30 minutes, so we still don't have power. It's been out ever since 9 a.m. So I don't really know what's going to happen tonight, if we're going to get lights back on eventually or not. So might just turn the headlights on the truck and keep plowing. Hopefully we don't have any wind comes in with the snow that's due in tonight, because if we do, with the way these branches are loaded, it's going to be a bad mess. So pick back up in the morning. Well, everybody, it's the next day. Good news, bad news type of thing. We got power back just shortly after I spoke to you all last time. Came on about 6 p.m. and it went back out about 4:30 this morning. I know because I was up listening to the thunder that was coming in with the snow, and everything flashed off about that time. And the mess is even worse today. So here's where we plowed down the road yesterday. Full branches across, and I don't know how far we can see on the other side. As far as you look down the road, branches, branches, branches. That has to get cleared. Lost another big limb right here. Both these are flat down. They're going to come off. Another area that we plowed yesterday, full of broken off fresh branches here today. Another one right there. We get out here more. Here's the road down to the pole barn. We had this opened right up yesterday, and we're going to need a chainsaw to get back through it today. At least enough to get the tractor out and up the road so we can start clearing up here. I sent a video of the old RD6 to my buddy. I'm really hoping that big birch tree that's just sagging right above it holds up and doesn't come down, because if it does, it's landing right on my vintage D6. Definitely don't want to stand under these any more than you have to, but my buddy said he'd be moving that D6 if it was him. Problem is, to where? Because if I go forward, we're just underneath that one, and tractor's not going to be able to move it either, because this wet, heavy stuff, the tractor's had trouble moving itself in a few spots. It's certainly not going to tow it, so we're keeping everything right where it is, just hoping for the best. Senior's been out here knocking snow off branches like a kid having fun, right? And this maple here, he showed me how everything's just encased in ice all the way out to the bud. There's probably a good 1/8 inch of ice coating on that, and that's what it looks like after you knock all this heavy snow off. I bet that one sprung up 6-7 feet. That's better. We can at least drive under it now.
Yeah.
All right, it's noon. We've been plowing all morning, and we're finally opened up far enough to start attacking the driveway. We wanted to get plowed this far because this is so heavy. After you pack it once, it's just slick. So we didn't want to get the tractor in here before we were, you know, most of the way cleared up to these broken off branches. They're so darn heavy in that snow and the ice that's on them, it's tough to even get them pulled out of here. He got one. Something's really making a lot of noise out here. Yep. There it goes. Top come out of that popple back there. No, that's a birch. Expecting this guy to be next. I hope not. Well, it's time to take the chainsaw and head off down the driveway. I have no idea what I'm going to find when I get down there. You have to look up just as much as you look forward, because right there you can see there's a hanger, Widowmaker. So things like that could come down at any time, or any of these other branches could snap at any time. So we'll just be careful. I'm surprised these haven't snapped off yet. They weren't down here when I plowed yesterday. Just got to be careful here, see if we shake some weight off. Usually when they bend over like that though, they'll never stand straight up again. See if I can just get it out of my way enough to plow. Here's some logging that we don't have time to do right now, so Senior's just going to push it out of the way. Probably for the winter. It's just about got it free on that far end. What a mess. All right, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're finally linked up with the rest of the world for the second time in as many days. We have access to the main road again. So all the branches are up off the road and we're pushed back as far as we need to go. Plenty of room to stack more snow in here for the whole rest of the winter. The decisions you make, you know, right here at like the very first snowfall of the year, pretty much dictate what your actions are going to be the whole rest of the winter, because we always start out with pushing the snow way further back than what we need it initially, because that leaves us plenty of room to stockpile everything else that's going to fall in the next 4 months basically. Got the road open down to the pole barn. Here's everything we had to clear out. Again, quite a pile of brush over there, smaller pile there. Man, down by the pond, there's just stuff flat to the ground everywhere down there. Another cut off top right there. Another pile of brush right there. That was just to get this skinny little road open. I just wanted to show you guys, nearing the end of day 2, I've plowed for 17.3 miles and burned just about a quarter tank of gas already. This stuff is so hard to push. Just too heavy. Well, what do you say? You about ready to call it for another day?
I'm done.
You're done? Well, we got to put some fuel in this. We're down to a quarter tank, and
we'll get it all ready for tomorrow.
Yep. So we just finished clearing out on both sides of the pole barn, because tomorrow we're beginning with that. I'll explain then. We've at least granted ourselves a little bit of working room, so get a good night's rest, because tomorrow back at it again. Dawning of day 3. Generator running, so we at least have a little bit of light in the house. We don't run many lights off generator, so it's going to be a little bit dark, but this is the MVP of the last several days right here, the wood stove. It keeps all of our boots dry, gloves dry, heavy clothes dry. You can't see that, but yeah, without that, we'd have been hurting. And of course, keeps the entire house warm. Nice to come in from that stuff and actually have a comfortable place to be. Well, it finally happened. Most of that birch above the RD6 decided to come down. I was expecting it, to tell you the truth. So there's the big top. You can see the fresh wood right there, where that hole where it forks, that whole thing just last night sometime came down. It doesn't look as bad as I was fearing, because, well, the RD6 pretty much is on the far side of it. Senior had just staged 3 of his vintage snowmobiles for winter projects to bring on into the old shop right there, so it's mostly on top of those. But looking at it, and we have to be careful, because any of these above us potentially still could come down. I don't think those oaks are going to now at this point. These birches have just been holding on to all of that ice and snow. I think it's because of the finer finger branches that are on them. You can see right here. It just it gave it more of a platform to hold tight to. But here's the Senior starting the tractor. I thought something else was coming down. Here's the narrow RD6 here. You can see most of the snow is still on the cover even. You can see Senior's vintage snowmobiles more underneath, but looking at it, I believe it cracked and would have come down top first, and I think the top landed just between the D6 and the snowmobiles. That hit the ground first, and then from looking at this side of it over here, you can see by how much is cracked from top branches, I'm pretty sure this is where it hit right here, just out front of the snowmobiles. And we need to be careful. It's not inconceivable that we might lose those other two main branches yet, so we don't want to get under it. But I believe the top hit first and it rolled, and the main trunk of it really didn't even make an imprint in the snow. So like a bang and then like a roll a little bit away from everything, and then there it sits. So at least from this point on, I don't think we have to worry much about those two main ones really coming down on anything. But yeah, we had talked about seeing if we could get the D6 pulled out, and like Senior even said, the way this snow is so wet, once you have driven over it once and packed it, it gets such a glaze, you've pretty much got no traction. And even if we would have chained up the Super Ram, I don't see where we'd have been able to move that RD6, and it just would have been us spending a lot of time underneath dangerous branches anyway. Those are just things, okay? At the end of the day, I don't really care. They can all be replaced. It's better than one of us having been underneath that gigantic branch and it decided to come down. So, well, aside from that, we haven't had power now for the last 48 hours. No, 72 hours now. I bet we've had power, maybe 24 of them. We have not even had internet for the last 12 hours, and we also lost our landline for the landline phone. So I don't know when any of this is going to get uploaded, but I'm just going to continue on moving snow. All right, so as I briefly mentioned yesterday, when you get a wet, heavy snowfall, especially early in the year like this, the decisions you make right now are going to dictate what you have to do for the whole rest of the winter. So, well, we're going to clear all the roofs off, and you can see I've got my favorite tool, the roof raiser. Keeps me on the ground because Sasquatches don't like ladders or sloped surfaces that are above ground level. You don't get that moniker by being graceful, we'll just put it that way. And because this was such wet, heavy snow, and you guys can't appreciate how heavy this stuff is. I mean, the roof can hold it the way it is right now, but we're supposed to get some well below zero temperatures here coming in 2 days from now. And with as much moisture as in this stuff, if I don't get this cleaned off now, it's going to turn into concrete. It's going to get so hard, and we're going to be dealing with it basically on the roofs for the whole rest of the winter. So yeah, last time I did roofs, I thought I'd just throw a video up, just kind of showing my process, and it, as usual, turned into a chest beating competition in the comment section as to who could let the snow build up highest on their roofs before cleaning. And some folks said that they never clean them at all. Hey, I'm happy for you. Condolences to your roof, but I'm happy for you. You know, it devolved into building codes and weight ratings and, you know, capacity. And, well, I can run the engine at my truck at 6,000 RPM. It's rated for that. Doesn't mean I do it. One guy said, but that's different. And I said, yeah, I know. I don't live in my truck. And it only got down to 25 degrees Fahrenheit last night. You can see how the stuff is already starting to set up. I mean, just getting that cracked off where it has initially curled around. It slid a little bit yesterday. We briefly had some sun, but then as soon as that went away, there we go. I mean, that was a couple 100 pounds right there. So yeah, we just we got to get it all taken care of. Boy, that stuff packs hard. Off to the pile. Isn't going to be long before I don't even need this ladder. And just like that, for the second time in 3 days, we've got the backside of the old shop and the lean-to clean. Because it piles up here, that's a continual thing all winter. You can hear Senior on the tractor. He's finishing cleaning up the last of what I took off of this side of the pole barn roof, and I'm going up to the garage / new shop next. See, that's a snow pile that I just made. It's high enough that if I cut it too sharp, it folds my side mirror in. Oh man, I'm trying to make it out to the wood pile here. we're nearing the end of the day. This is kind of my last little effort here, and I can't even break trail with the truck and the plow. It's going to take the tractor, I think, to get much further, but yeah, I just have to mound up a pile, get it as far as I can get it, and without flogging equipment too bad, taking care of the truck, just start making room, like fanning out, so I can get sideways on it and get it a few more feet off of where I want the road. It's man, I don't know, even Senior said he's never really seen snow like this, and he's seen 70 plus winters of it. So this might be the first year ever that we don't make it all the way out to the field. I don't know, it's never happened before, but keep trying. All right, let's get the word from the man himself. He's just about done for the day. He told me a minute ago. You want to be on camera? What do you think about this stuff?
Sucks.
I know it. I just got done telling them the same thing. Because like trying to plow it, trying to move on it, like if you go a few spots with the tractor, you can't even steer.
Whoa.
It's just
Like sliding on a sled.
You ever seen like a snowfall like this that did this?
And one day was
Not like 3 days like we've had here. Yeah. So I don't know. See what tomorrow brings. We're just about ready to throw the tractor back in the shed, and I'm going to park the truck. And yeah, this is the third day straight. Good news is we did get electricity back about 2 hours ago, so that's really good. We still don't have cell service and we have no internet, so we're still pretty much off the grid, but at least we've got lights. So I kind of expect the electricity to go out again anyway, because you see how loaded these trees are over the place. There's still going to be branches coming down. There's still going to be ripping power lines down. So we just enjoy power while we have it, and make sure we have plenty of water stocked and firewood at the house, and we'll stay all right. Catch back with you tomorrow. All right, day 4. At least I think it's day 4. It feels like it's been longer than that. We are starting to cool down a little bit, and I've got this final roof on the house left to do before it gets cold enough that it all turns into like a concrete layer. So as you can see, I've got this end done right now, but I have to climb up to do that upper part because I can't get all of that from the ground. No big deal. We'll get that handled easily. Senior left this morning. He is going to see how far he has to drive to finally be able to make a phone call or send a text. We don't have any internet, no cell service. Randomly, we can receive a text here and there, but we can't send anything back out. We're dead. It's nothing. And we are literally right next door to the tower. So I don't know what's going on, and we can't contact anybody. We have no way of reaching the outside world. So he's gonna drive until he's got reception and make some calls, see if he can see what's up. He's gonna top up everything for fuel. We've burned quite a lot of diesel through the tractor the last 3 days. We're good on generator gas. We can run that thing for a month yet if we have to, but we need to keep that tractor rolling. You guys are probably tired of listening to me talk. I'm gonna climb up on the roof. I'm not taking the camera with because I don't need that distraction up there. I already don't like being on roofs anyway, and we just need to get it done. So talk to y'all in a bit. All right, Senior's back. I finished the house roof. We're just clearing everything away from the front of it right now. And well, he was able to make contact with the internet provider and the phone company, and this is what, December 17th? They said probably December 27th at the soonest to get anybody out here to test the connection or to see what else is going on. If I'm lucky, I might be uploading videos by the first of the year again, maybe. Not what I wanted to hear at all, but we'll keep moving. Well, Senior and I, we walked out as far as the wood piles here. We have no intention of plowing out this far yet. We can come and we can get wood with the snowmobile if we have to, maybe even the rest of the winter. But this maple here broke off pretty good. Top that landed kind of on the carriageway part of Senior's band mill. We don't think it would have hit hard enough to do any damage there. Bunch more snapped off and down on the wood piles, and then of course where our little road takes off right off the end of my finger and goes into the woods out of that little field, you can already see they're crisscrossed like pickup sticks across that thing. So this is as far away from the house as I've been in 4 days, and I put 20 miles on my truck. Just snow plowing, lots of back and forth. So I have no idea when I'm gonna be able to upload this. As soon as I get service, I'll start throwing something together. Hopefully it's not before January. I don't know. So yeah, talking to Senior, I asked him, well, would you rather have the snow or hurricanes? He said, I'd rather have the snow. So I asked, would you rather have this than earthquakes? He says, most definitely, yeah. I said, how about wildfires? He says, yep. I said, how about mudslides after the wildfires burn everything off? He says, oh yeah. So we kind of agreed that we don't really mind snow that much. It can be a lot of work, kind of a pain, but neither one of us have ever been afraid of work either. So, and I know the questions are going to come up too in the comment section. Why don't you get a dozer out for this? Well, this is the kind of packing snow a dozer would probably jam up after a couple 100 feet. You'd have snow packed in the tracks so darn tight, and then you just have another problem on your hands. Plus the way this packs without cork tracks, you'd just be sliding sideways. Those Grouser bars are like ice skates if you don't put some crossways corks in them. So, all right, everybody, the fun continues. We're just hoping we don't get any high wind. Otherwise, we start the process over again. Sign off for now. All right, everybody, we'll pick back up again. This is day 6 since it first started snowing. You see it snowing again. This is the nice, light, fluffy stuff, so I'm not worried about that at all. And today, I'm working my way out to our firewood piles. So this was that birch that was so weighed down next to the old garden here. I came out this morning, and I just had, well, first those long poles that I use for the roof raiser. I just used those to shake a bunch of the snow out of those branches, cut off what was left so we can fit the truck and the tractor underneath, and a little bit at a time, we're getting it cleared out. It is very slow going because there's just so much of it, and it has lightened up a bit because we've been sub-zero temperatures the last 2 nights, and it's actually like it's pulled some moisture out of it. It's kind of getting more sugary, and it doesn't pack quite so bad. So the plowing has been going a little bit easier, and here we are. That's the new piles right there, and as you can see, we're pushing out plenty of room on all sides because, well, it's still early in the winter yet. We're gonna need a place to put a lot more snow before we're done. Senior's getting a start. He's starting to shovel out the end of the pile that we're drawing from, and of course we have trees down on everything, and we're not gonna go much further than that out there today because, well, I used the chainsaw for an hour to cut my way out this far. So just gotta keep opening up. Slow going. We just have to push a few more feet at a time. I've tried angling the blade to try and shoot snow off to one side or the other, and it's still heavy enough that it just takes the whole truck sideways. And the first pass through, I've just found it works better to just use the gradual battering ram method. Just get a couple more feet every time, and I'm not even lugging into the pile. That's what smokes transmissions. When I snowplow, I rarely even use brakes. So plow down, we have some forward momentum, and off the gas, let momentum of the truck just bleed off. Pushes the pile a couple feet. You can run all day like that, and you never even get the transmission hot. Once we get this first channel cut through here, which I'm going as far as that post you see right off the end of my finger, then we can start, or go get the blade raised, then we can start widening after that. All right, everybody, mission accomplished for today. We're back into the firewood, so we can stay warm all winter long. Interesting thing back here where this big maple Y split off, I got to looking at it, and it probably landed 2 inches from the edge of all those oak boards that Senior sawed up last fall. Close call there. And this is as far as I got. It's going to be a lot of chainsaw work to see if we can get back down that road to get out that little field. And we're going to have to cut that whole thing clean before we even start in there with the plow, because it's so narrow. Once you start in, you can back out, but you can't turn around. So you're pretty much committed once you go in there. But not too worried about that. I didn't expect I would get out this far this fast. Like I said, 6 days since it started. Day 5 yesterday. We took a trip into town. I drove around. I got that other quick episode loaded, as long as I had signal in town from my phone. But good news, I just got word that tentatively, at least, our internet is back. Turns out we're on the same circuit as the bank in town. And when the bank calls it in, they jump right on that. Luckily, the problem they fixed to get the bank back up also put us back up too. So that means we finish up here. I'm going in and sit in front of the computer for a few hours. I need to start getting some content put out. So if y'all are seeing this before Christmas, that means we got lucky. We got all our services back, and like I said, for now, everything's holding. So this has been 6 days of pain, right? Thanks for watching, everybody. At least we got a lot of the process on camera. We got 4 more months of this left to go. Thanks again, y'all.